this Montana family loses custody of their teenage daughter after simply expressing opposition to her gender transition. The state took the daughter away, sent her to neighboring Wyoming to go under, I don't know what kind of treatment or therapy or what transition they're doing. They didn't say in the story yet what has happened. But it doesn't matter what has happened. They took the girl away from her family in Montana. I mean, red Montana. And you think that's not going to be happening here very soon, as soon as the left figures out how to get its way, with all the compliant lawmakers, the compliant governor, and of course the compliant media. And may I also say the compliant voters who refuse to do anything about it, who just keep electing the same damn people. They're signaling, they're telling you what they're going to do. They're showing you what's happening, and it's about to happen here in Rhode Island. So this is the third story that there's this what's happening with parental rights and kids, and it's happening again right here in North Kingstown. Once again, we've covered, we haven't gone to North Kingstown in a while. Just to go back, this is the home of Aaron Thomas, North Kingstown High School, the famous child fondler who fondled children under the guise of doing body fat tests or something like that. The whole scandal that exposed all kinds of other issues going on at the North Kingston School Committee in the North Kingstown town. That's the home of Jennifer Lima. She is the communist, Marxist, woke, liberal, progressive wacko on the North Kingstown School Committee, and they just keep reelecting her. I don't know what's going on with the voters in that town. But I'm going to play for you a short clip that has gotten all kinds of national and local attention. We haven't covered it yet on this show. I'm not exactly sure when it happened. It was at the very last school committee meeting. Then I'm going to give you the backstory because it's a really interesting story on this. So let me see if I can bring this up for you. Where did it go? Here it is, right here. Just listen to this.
And the emergency services are going to handle all of that. But I don't think we should notify parents on many issues that we notify parents on.
I don't think we should notify parents on a lot of issues we notify parents on that we currently do. Who is this woman? She's on the school committee. Who the hell is she? Let me tell you who she is. Her name is Deborah Lukaczko or something like that. Up until just a year or two ago, she lived in New Jersey. She doesn't know anything about North Kingstown culture. She lived in New Jersey. She's some kind of nurse practitioner or something, but she was on a school committee in New Jersey. She moved to North Kingstown. There was an opening from a school committee member, a guy named Thomas Briotti, who resigned earlier this month. Also another, progressive liberal. And the town council appointed this Deborah Lukaczko, who has no history in North Kingston, while friends like ours, Megan Riley and others, had also put their name in to be appointed to the school committee because by school charter, because of the timing of the resignation, by town charter, you appoint someone until a special election, or until the next election. So they appoint this radical leftist from New Jersey to the school committee. Now, as it turns out, there had been an appointment just a month before that. Another school committee member, for some reason, I don't know why they're all resigning, Jennifer Hoskins resigned. The reason I was told is now also in North Kingstown, the voters finally got some sense and they defeated 2-1, a massive, and what a lot of people felt was unnecessary bond referendum to build new high schools and to construct high schools and other schools that aren't needed in the school district. Just a big waste of money, just a gift to the unions and just a gift to the construction trades and all that. And they rejected it. So they did. And apparently the school committee 100% was behind the school bond. So this is some of the backstory here. But this Deborah Lukaczko was the second school committee member to be appointed by the town council in the last couple of months. Of course, this council also has Jennifer Lima. She's the most radical of all of them. That their chairperson is a woman, I believe, by the name of Erin Earl. She's also a big LGBTQ advocate. And then there's a fifth person named Robert Case, who ironically was also appointed by the town council a couple of years ago in 2022. And he also had just at that time moved to Rhode Island. So they're putting people on the school committee who the only necessary qualification, you have to be a radical leftist. Doesn't matter whether you have a history in the town or whether you know the people or the town history or the culture or anything like that. Okay, that's all the backdrop. So like many other cities and towns and school districts across the state, they're struggling with and trying to decide, what do we do with our transgender policy? Do we give in to the woke lefties and allow boys who say they're girls to go into girls' bathrooms? Do we allow them to play on our sports teams? You know, how do we handle them? Do we notify their parents? All kinds of questions, right? All kinds of questions. So the short video clip I just gave to you from the recent school committee meeting was about discussion of that. What are we going to do with that transgender policy? By the way, everybody believes with 5 hard woke Marxist progressives on that school committee, it's going to pass. They're going to pass an anti-parent, pro-transgender policy for the North Kingstown School District. It's probably going to happen in their first meeting in February or very early on in February. So it's going to happen. It's happening, folks. Just like that child was removed from the home in Montana from their parents in Montana. It's happening in North Kingstown, where parents' rights are going to be completely dismantled and ignored and taken apart. It's happening. Now, there's a real ironic irony, not an irony. It is a real tragedy. History repeats itself. I go back to Aaron Thomas. Now, that whole Aaron Thomas scandal, if you recall, happened when he was asking boys to disrobe and he would touch them, supposedly, to do some kind of body fat test. That's bad enough, but it became known that a lot of people knew about it. Other teachers in the school knew about it, but didn't say anything. Nobody notified parents. Certain people on school committees and in the superintendent and school district knew about it, but tried to keep it secret. They tried to quietly keep it under the covers. Then when it came out into the public, then they tried to quietly give Aaron Thomas a sweetheart deal so he would go away and avoid any punishment. Well, it all came out in the open, but this all happened. And I want to thank Megan Riley, our friend in North Kingstown, for making me aware of this. But the Aaron Thomas tragedy happened because school officials wanted to keep secrets from parents. They didn't nip it in the bud. They kept secrets from parents. Bad things are bound to happen when parents don't know what's going on with their kids. And when school districts think they know better and think they have some right to raise kids. Bad things happen when you keep secrets from parents. Parents are the ones who raise kids, not the government, not the schools. Parents, they need to know what's going on with their kids so they can make the best decision. They care about their kids. School districts and woke government officials care about a left-wing agenda. They don't care about the kids. They use the kids to advance their agenda. So that should have been the lesson from the Aaron Thomas affair, if you want to call it that. Don't keep secrets from parents. Bad actions are bad actions and they need to be punished, but don't keep it from parents. Well, guess what they're doing? Now they're going to vote. Sure enough, sure as anything. They're going to be voting within a week or two to keep secrets from parents. They're going to do it again. We can only hope that no tragedy happens like last time. But this is the woke left political supremacist agenda. They just think they know best. They just think that parents don't deserve to know. Parents aren't looking out for the kids. In fact, as you know, and we've talked about, many of them think that parents are harmful to their own kids and therefore need to be taken away. So that's the story. That's why it's important what that woman said. It's not just her comments were outrageous. You got to understand the full backdrop to it. And this transgender policy, by the way, that they'll be voting on was rewritten and amended and edited by, the woke Marxist Jennifer Lima. That's, I don't think she'd even argue with that. A lot of people believe it. So it's going to be anti-parents. You know it is. And it's just a question of how long do North Kingstown voters put up with this, but also until they make a change, what comes next? Where do they draw the line? What's the next radical policy? We've talked about it on this show. We know that in North Kingstown and other places, they're talking about having 24-hour campuses that offer full services to students, which includes, we presume, student housing. So let's connect the dots. This is the theory. Makes sense. Someone's to deal. We've asked the Department of Education to refute it, but they've not responded or to explain it. So when we take kids away from the parents, now we have a place to put them. Student housing in these schools, on these 24-hour service, full service campuses. Makes sense to me. Is that what's coming next? I don't know. It's happening in Montana, and it's happening here in Rhode Island in North Kingstown.